Hey guys, it's been a while, but I have some things to talk about, mainly to get off my chest, in there about the holiday this weekend, or some significant others, mainly men. Um, it'll be short, but it's going to be loud. So let's get started. Welcome to Weekly Gab with Share Bear. I don't know why sometimes I seem to forget where we're at, or who I am, I guess you could say. Thing is going in and out. Okay. All right. So, first off, I don't, I'm really not understanding this whole situation. Okay. So, now I would sit there and not name names, but basically everybody knows I'm with Russ, so we're going to talk about Russ today. Okay. Nothing too negative. He is a regular man, so we know he's not perfect, guys. Um, and so this ain't really saying that I don't love him or anything like that, because I do. But um, we have still our share of arguments, and usually over financing, which drives me nuts because that's the one thing I don't like to argue about. I don't like to fight about it, and in the past, I've never had to. Partly because I was either in a relationship that the man totally controlled all the money and I never got to see any of it or do anything with it, all that stuff. Okay? And then I've had another one that I wanted to feel independent with, because I never got to feel that way. So we kept our finances separately. He paid for certain things, I paid for certain things, and it was working just fine. Um, so now I don't understand either. First, I was paying for everything. Okay? So everything's already in my name. There we go. And then he finds out, and I will admit, I'm not the very best when it comes to spending money or organizing the money as I used to, probably because I'm not used to it. I've never had to really do it since, way back when my kids were still little, some of them not even born. Anyway, so I'm pretty bad when it comes to that. I will admit that. I'm not a very organized person as I used to be before my kids were born. I was a very organized person, and I've kind of lacked on that and haven't tried to get back to it. Um, so now, well, there was at one point, there was a time he wanted to control all the finances. I was like, fine, go ahead. He never did that. Okay. Then we sit there and have another argument, and he decides, okay, I'm going to give you $500 every month so you can pay the bills. And I'm like, okay. So I was doing really good with that. And then we've had some difficulties with both being short hours of work, him not going to work at all, just stuff like that. And I got behind. So then he finds out because I did not tell him that we were behind because honestly, I didn't think about telling him. I mean, I pay the bills, I take care of them. I didn't see a point in it. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm just learning this stuff. Um, like I said, I've never had to do this stuff. But he gets irate. He gets very frustrated very easily, especially when it comes to it's So, and he says he sat down and he's talked to me about this stuff and everything like that, and it just doesn't work. I don't know. It's definitely a place that we really need to work on. He just wants me to talk to him and tell him what's going on with the bills. I don't know. Anyway, now he sits there, and because I'm behind, because I did not get some of the bills paid last month, he is very irate with me, and now he wants to control all the bills again. I'm like, okay, but that didn't seem like to work. So I thought, well, let's change it around then. I will give you 500 and you take care of all the bills. So I'm waiting to see how that works because especially since everything's in my name still, that if he's not going to sit there and go, okay, here you go, now go pay him. What's the difference of that? And, I don't know. Anyway, I just don't get it. And then to top this all off, now, because we're going to go put the title in his name to my trailer, okay? And we found out that I'm going to have to change it after we're married again, get a new one again, and pay the money for a new one again. So he decided, well, let's just wait till after we get married, and then we only have to do it once. Like, okay. But now, instead of getting married at April 30th, which is in just a couple of weeks, he decided because of this big argument that we had that maybe we're not quite ready and we should wait. So now we've moved the wedding, the actual legal wedding part, not the ceremony. Well, it'll be the ceremony, but it'll be a year later, till May 30th. Now, it's just like, he's not helping me with this whole wedding idea and stuff and everything to begin with, and now he wants to change the date on me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really get it. And maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know. Okay? So that's that. That whole thing, it's all fine and we're all dandy and everything's all go lucky again. And I don't know. But I just wanted to get that off my chest because I just don't see. It was a madhouse and here, and I just don't understand it. I don't get, and it just drives me nuts because I'm a certain way or I've learned a certain way, and he gets mad at me for being that way instead of sitting there talking to me about it. Even though he says he has talked to me about it, the only way I know he's talked to me about it is by complaining and yelling and all that instead of just understanding and we coming to a compromise instead of it being practically all or none. Because that's the way I feel like he solves a lot of stuff. It's either all or none. It's not a compromise, even though he says that we should be doing this together. It's ours. It's me and you. And a lot of times it doesn't feel that way when we come up to a decision. Anyway, we'll get off of him because I'm not going to even bother with that half the time. I don't really try to like you guys to get involved in that. So it's not, the wedding has not been canceled, but it has been moved. Um, so just to let you know. Um, but now my second thing this weekend. Happy Easter, by the way. I know by the time you watch this, Easter will be over, but I hope everybody had a good one. I basically did have a good one for the most part. I went over to my son's house to be with my grandson. Unfortunately, he did not get to have as much fun as he had a great time. I think he still had a great time, but he was the only kid there, so it kind of was a bummer, in my eyes anyway. But I've been sitting here thinking about, and it's not just Easter, it's just we happen to be on Easter right now, okay? But how these holidays have changed and the traditions have changed. I had passed on or pretty much did all the traditions that I learned as a kid or had as a kid onto my kids. And to not see them do those traditions drives me nuts. Now, let me ask you, okay, what does Easter mean to you? Now, part of the reason why I have not talked too much about Easter because it's mainly a religious holiday. And like I said, I try not to get too much into the religion on here. So I didn't want to talk too much about that. Okay? So, fine. But even though, well, this year we didn't even have sunrise service, okay? Which I look forward to every Easter. If I do not go to church at all, I at least go for sunrise service. And we got it. I'm not gonna touch it, okay? It's gonna be in the way for a minute. Um, okay, so what was I saying? I was talking about sunrise service. Anyway, and then okay, so there's the religious side. okay, which I think most people, like I said, until this year, which kind of bugged me that we didn't have sunrise service, but things happen. My pastor, I'm sure there might have been some others. I'm trying to get away from this glare. I'm in the wrong room, guys. Okay. Um, my pastor had to go out of town, state, country, whatever. No, not country, just out of state over to Texas. So we didn't have sunrise service. So there's a little bit of a reason for it. And like I said, I'm sure there's other churches that had it. But then there's the whole family thing, okay? Now, if you want to go into the commercial type way, tell me what happened to the Easter Bunny, guys. I'm sorry, but growing up and the way I did it with my kids, okay? Now, granted, I understand not using the real eggs anymore, even though I still had at least some real eggs and then some plastic eggs, okay? Because you got to dye eggs. I mean, who doesn't dye eggs? I sure ain't seen it. And maybe it's just my family that's doing this. Maybe it's just my kids. Maybe you guys out there are all still being pretty traditional. Hopefully. But not only are they not dyeing eggs, okay, but like with my kids' family, I guess I should just say one right now, okay? Um, with my son's family, they don't hide their eggs until the day of or whatever, okay? Um, like they hide the eggs. The Easter Bunny's not hiding the eggs. They are, okay? I grew up and I raised my kids that the Easter Bunny goes out and hides the eggs at night while you're sleeping, and then you get up and you go hunt them. Is that not correct? Am I wrong in that area? Because I don't think it's. I mean, like I said, what happened to the Easter Bunny? Does he not do anything? I mean, does he even, I don't know for sure, I never asked, but does he even bring the Easter baskets at night either? It bugs me. And I don't know why it bugs me so much when it comes to Easter Bunny, but it's bugging me that this is not the way we do it anymore. I mean, why bother even having a Santa, which most of you probably don't even do that anymore. I know my kids don't do the traditions that I did with them and, that my parents did with me. And it just, and granted, I know that you have now a family, when it comes to my son's family and stuff like that. So you have, when you get married, you have you and your wife, and you guys usually figure something out, when it comes to the holidays of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But it just kind of upsets me a little bit that none of my traditions have been passed down to my grandchildren as far as Christmas, Easter, Halloween, any of that seems like, okay? And it just, I don't know. It kind of bugs me. I mean, tell me what you think. Is it still, I mean, has tradition really gone away? Or is this what new traditions are really going to be looking like? Because it does not seem like everything else that the new traditions, if they aren't really family. This is the one the cat's got to, and so the wire is loose in the back. I need to switch mine. But, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't get it. I don't like the way it is, and I just, I go to my son's house and everything, and, I just kind of let it be. And I forgot to do something while I was over this year. I was going to do a video, but on Easter Sunday, we went to Russ's sister's house and saw his niece. Um, and so I ended up asking some people this question: what does Easter mean to you? And I want you to check this out and see what you think. Okay. What does Easter mean to you?
Like I go Easter egg hunting in the park, and I never went in my backyard for Easter egg hunting.
No?
But now, this is my first time. And then, my sisters, are gonna come. And, after our, Easter egg hunting, we are gonna have way more food than me and Mommy usually have.
Oh, cool.
And that's all I wanted to tell you.
Okay. Okay, Courtney, what does Easter mean to you?
Candy and zombie Jesus.
That's a good one. What does Easter mean to you?
What does Easter mean to me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ham? Means that there's gonna be ham.
You dork. You can have many things.
I don't know. Fucking dyed eggs. Hard boiled eggs.
Mom, I wanted
Oh, was I supposed to say family?
No, you can't say family.
Look at
It's a fucking day of the month, man. It's just the day of the year.
A man conversation because he's on my last nerve. I know he's just trying to be helpful, but I'm in a lot of fucking pain and he can't really do much about it.
Okay,
so.
Beth, what does Easter mean to you?
See family.
Cool. I haven't got that answer yet.
I mean, it's a pretty good answer. What's Easter mean to me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely about family, but I mean, at the same time, I also come for the grub. I ain't gonna lie.
And my answer was zombie Jesus. So
Well,
it's
Yeah.
zombie Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
he
that's
did
what
die
all
for our
my
sins.
TikTok tell
and
me.
then he came back. Right?
Yeah.
I might want that.
What Easter means to you? I know it's a popular question for Christmas. Maybe even New Year's. But how many times do we actually sit down and ask what Easter means to us? Because I'll tell you what it means to me. It means the rising of our Christ. It means spending time with family, bringing some magic to children of all ages, and just enjoying what should be the beginning of spring. You know, yeah, I don't know. And me and my grandson had a really good time when I was over there. Even though he was the only one that was able to go out and grab eggs, I was out there helping him grab the eggs. So we were getting all those together. And then my son likes to have an adult, well, his wife likes to have an adult Easter egg hunt, which is cool. So I had him come help me do my Easter egg hunt. So, and they had hung one of these eggs, they had a handle, and they hung them on the tree. So I had to get him up on my shoulders and have him help me get it because I couldn't reach it being so short. But, so, and he was like on there, my shoulders, like, I'm gonna die. So, but as you guys know, my grandson's a cutie. So, you know, I mean, the things he says sometimes. So it was a good day for most part, but I don't know, it just made me think about how disappointing things are nowadays. You know, and like I said, maybe just times have changed. You know, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Young and old. I know maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just getting old and I'm used to the old ways, and you know, people just don't do it that way. Yeah. You know, and definitely like my video, especially if you like, you know, some of the discussions we have, so I kind of get an idea of what kind of things you guys like to hear about. And share this video. Share it with, you know, friends and family, and see maybe if they think or agree with some of the opinions of what we think that I put on here of what Easter's about. Or if you want to, you know, disagree with it, that's fine too. and just maybe pass the, by watching the videos or sharing your videos, pass on the, the question of what does Easter mean to you? And definitely follow me so you get updated on when a new video's out, especially since I've been having a hard time putting them out constantly, or at least every week. So you want those notifications, so make sure you turn on your notifications for it too. All right? And for now, love one another and care for one another. And we'll see you soon. Bye.